G'day there, Ozysturm here, country Victorian gamer of Star Wars Armada, Star Wars Legion, X-Wing, Dystopian Wars, Battletech, Flames of War, and many other games. I've just come home to find a box on my doorstep from my 3D printers, and I have now got some more additions to add to my Imperial Tempest force. So I'm going to open them up and show you all the parts that I've got, and then I will be telling you my plans of what's going to happen from now. First off, I've got some newspaper packing. Common, yeah. Probably, yeah, Harvey Norman catalogues. First model off the cab. Let's have a look what I've got in here. I might grab some scissors. There we go. And it's a stormtrooper without a head. Interesting. Hopefully this means there should be a little baggie of various heads. That'll be good. And this one. Oh, looks like I've got a base in this. So in here I've got how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 various helmets for my stormtroopers and a base. Nice. Looks like it might be for a maybe cityscape or even a the likes of a starship floor. Not bad. Okay. Looks like this might be another stormtrooper. Also with the carbine, there is a little bit of flashing that I need to clean up from behind the actual carbine there, as you can see. Nothing too serious about it. I'll still need to give each of them a wash, but that's common for any 3D printing jobs that I get. I always make sure to give them a good clean first before I try and put on any paint. Okay, this is one that has a pointing pose. Directing traffic. Not bad. One sitting down. So that's 4 stormtroopers. If I remember right, I ordered 9. Or at least the image had 9 stormtroopers. Another one, basically bracing the carbine. Again, a little bit of cleanup required. So each of these are individually bubble wrapped by Garfies Games via eBay. Another pointed guy pointing. That blaster pistol seems to have had a bit of damage in the molding process. Might still be okay, but the alternative is I've got a number of spare guns from the Imperial Special Forces. So if it's not repairable after I do some warm water treatment to get it back into shape, I might just cut it off and replace it. So that goes over there. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 7. Holding it like a close to his chest, pointing down. Okay. Number 8, again, another normal pose. The interesting question will be how I will pose the helmets on all of them. Will I have them all looking at the same position in relation to where the gun is? Do I modify them so that they're looking over the shoulders, or if their stance is much more of a guarded position? Some of these, like this one, looks like it's more of a shooting pose. So obviously I'll be having the helmet point that way to indicate that, yeah, he's lining up a shot, etc. Another shooty position. Oh. Okay, this is interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I've already got 10, and I'm still, by the looks of it, got a few more stormtroopers to open up. That's handy. That'll allow me to have a few more spares. Ah, this is the officer with his shoulder pads. This one I probably will leave aside, simply because I don't need an officer, but I might go down the path of utilizing him to create another special weapon or a heavy down the track. So I'll put that aside at the moment. So that's 11 stormtroopers, 10 normal stormtroopers, 1 stormtrooper commander of some sort. What's this one? And there we have Cad Bane. He's very much like looking down, so you can't really see his face very well. If I look up that way, you can see the hat is basically hiding a lot of his face, which is quite good. When you see him firstly in The Mandalorian and in Book of Boba, you do not see him much in terms of his face until he looks up. So this is not a bad stance, I think. He's got his weapons. You can see that there is some oil residue on it, which I'll clean up in a water bath. But that looks really nice. Okay, any more infantry? Yes, another infantry. Another stormtrooper. So that means I've got 11 stormtroopers by the looks of things. Or is this something different yet again? No, this is another commander. So maybe that one was a heavy while this one is the commander. Again, what I'm going to do is probably leave this one aside. I may even use the weapon on it on that other person that has had his weapon slightly demolded. Okay, now, not all of these I'm going to get out right now, but to suffice to say, what I've got here, I'll open this one up because it'll give you a good example of what it is. This is the top section for an AT-DT from the Solo movie. As you can see, this will be where the main gun goes. There is a little bit of flash to clean up, a little bit of gum to remove with the soaping effects, a little bit more underneath to flick off. Rather good, I think. What's this? So I think this is the pivot underneath. So as you can see, it's going to be pretty chunky to start off with anyway. I'm going to have to do a bit of trimming on the model itself to get it right. There's a lot of parts involved in terms of the legs, in terms of, there's one part of the leg, so that's the top part. Here's the main laser. So that will go in there somewhere. There should be some additional laser ports that I'm supposed to get and fit for the bottom holes here. I appear to have a choice of two characters. One is for Rebels. So this is a Greedo's character, Rodian, that's it, driving. So he'll sit right there, right next door. So I believe in the canon, in one of the comic arcs, a number of these AT-DTs got captured by Lando, and then it was sold or reappropriated later on by a rebel cell. Well, this is the Imperial. So there's a lot of flash in there that I'll have to clean up after I remove some of the gun. More of the leg workings. Looks like I can also field a third cockpit without anyone in it for a actual stationary piece. Piece of armor of some sort, might be for another section. And that, I think, is the rest of the gun. Maybe not. Ah, there. So that's how big the gun is when it actually goes in. Quite large. Does appear to be shooting upwards. I'll probably have it at the 90-degree mark, maybe slightly higher. Yeah. Engine cowling, I think. Radiator cowling. And not quite sure what this is. This might be the back end of the gun, like where automatic shells are being spat out. Maybe. Some feet, nice chunky feet, so that'll help. I'm not exactly certain how I want to position him, this model, yet, whether or not I want it to sit in a like my AT-ST stance of it stationary firing, or whether or not I want to more so have it positioned so that it looks as though it's moving. So some more gun parts. This, oh, wow, this I was not expecting. A second stance for Cad Bane. This one in his shooting position. So that's not bad at all, I think. So I can have him in a neutral stance or in a more aggressive stance. Not bad at all. And the last bag looks like it contains some more bits for the ATDT. Some storage boxes or some armor plates. More parts for the legs. And a spare seat. Although I do like the seat maybe being used on its own. Especially seeing I'm going to be getting those Imperial Commanders later on when they come out. Let me just see. Yeah, so that's the same seat that is on them. So that means that this would sit somewhere like on that. On the blank. Yeah. So, a couple of surprises in there. One was getting the extra 2 Stormtroopers and the extra Cad Bane. Also getting the Rebel version of a pilot for the ATDT. I was not expecting that, but it's quite nice. Same thing with the blank, meaning that I can potentially even use it as a wrecked vehicle. Maybe, probably not. I do want to use it for what it is. I think the first step for these models that I've just got is probably to put them in a water bath to soak and remove some of that excess gum, oil, grease residue from the printing process. Once that is done, then I need to start removing some of the flashing from some of the models. The ones that I'm going to start off with will probably be the Stormtroopers, simply because I want to get them on the bases, and I've already shown you how I have painted them. I'm going to use a similar technique, so spray paint it white and then work progressively over the top with the lighter white colors to give it that nice blend. I'm also going to, to show a slight difference with it, I'm also going to probably use a mix of white and satin gloss to give that white a nice plastic type sheen sort of thing that I haven't been able to do with the rest of them. Cad Bane, I will do both of those ones separately. Maybe at the same time. I'm going to use similar colorations to what you see him in Book of Boba, so a lot of brown tones, a lot of his skin being more of a lighter blue or a white blue rather than a really rich blue. Certainly not a regal blue. More likely it's going to be a very washed down blue. I may even look at doing some highlights in white to just really lighten up that texture as well, to show that he is an aged. With the ATDT, I will fully assemble it. Not sure, like I said, I'm not sure if I'll keep it like in a standing position for its shooting, or more so with the feet, have it so it's doing slight movements. I did like the movement in the movie where the actual ATDT is on its side ever so slightly while it's moving, but that might be a condition of the actual train it's actually moving across. So I'm going to play around with the train a little bit, but that will be towards the back end. Plan, probably in the next month I will do all the Stormtroopers. Month after that, Cad Bane, and then getting closer more so towards after packs, Oz, and closer to Christmas, this ATDT. Anyway, please like, please subscribe. If you have done any of these models before, please post a picture in my comment section. If you are interested in any of these models or any of the other 3D models that I have purchased over the time in doing the Star Wars Legion, there is a link to Garfies Games eBay store in the description, and they are well worth looking for if you are located in Australia or New Zealand. It is a lot cheaper to actually purchase from Garfie, who has a license from a lot of the American 3D designers to actually sell on their designs locally. It is less of a case of supporting them overseas, more so supporting them here in Australia through a dealership whereby we are not being charged something like 20, 30, 40 or more in the way of shipping costs to get to us. All up, the order that I've just made is around about the $40 to $60 mark, and I pretty much got a really good deal through eBay using some discount codes that I have, as well as just basically understanding the frequency, how eBay does their sales in terms of the postage and packing. So I only needed to pay $10 in postage and packing throughout Australia, the rest for the Cad Bane models, but the rest of them was free shipping, free postage within Australia. There may be a little bit more cost when it goes over the pond to New Zealand or elsewhere, but all in all, supporting Garfies Games is really, really good, and I thank him. But for now, please like, please subscribe, please leave a comment on this or any of my other videos, and I will see you on the table next time. Bye for now.